Hi, this is Joe Rand with Better Homes and Gardens Rand Realty, and this is our special report on the spring market 2019, 10 years after the correction, where we're looking at 7 trends that we want to look at in the 2019 spring market. Trend number 3, prices are trending upward, but not by much. We're seeing price appreciation, but not at any kind of like really dramatic levels. And so I want to look at some graphs to show you this. We'll start with the New Jersey region. This is northern New Jersey, and we have prices in some of these markets going back to 2002, in other markets going back to 2010, and you can see that prices are trending upwards the last few years, but not in any really dramatic way. And there's still, at least in Bergen and Passaic County, where we've got numbers going back to 2002, they're still well below the highs of 05, 06, 07. And so from a historical perspective, they're still relatively attractive. And in our other markets where we don't have data going back as far, they're up from the bottom, but not in any dramatic way. The one outlier, which you can see on the orange kind of reddish line, is Hudson County. Hudson County has been appreciating much more dramatically than its other neighbors in northern New Jersey, and that is largely as a result of new construction, as well as the fact that it's been drafting off of the Manhattan market. Let's look at Westchester County. We see sort of the same thing. Westchester County, you've got, again, the same. We've got data going back to 2002 for all of these markets, and you can see that every market is off its high of 06, 07, 08, 05, that kind of market area. And they're all trending up, but not really dramatically. You're not seeing any kind of massive incline, except, again, there's another outlier, which is the Bronx, which, like Hudson County, New Jersey, drafts off the Manhattan market. So the Bronx has been appreciating at a much higher clip because it's adjacent to the Manhattan market, which has been going gangbusters. Up into the last year has been going gangbusters for really the last 15 years. Is how the Manhattan market's been performing. But so let's look at those Manhattan adjacent markets. Here's Hudson County. You can see what's been going on there. The bars are, the columns are the transactions. They've been going up all the way back to 2010, and prices have been just inexorably going up. Where the all property types average price is up above $550,000, where it's $200,000 higher than it was in 2010. That's like a 40%. 50% increase. That's pretty dramatic. And we see the same thing in the Bronx. Sales are way up from 2012, and prices have been climbing up. And what we're seeing there is really just 2 markets that are behaving differently from the other northern New Jersey counties or the other northern of New York City, Westchester, and Hudson Valley counties. And that's because their closeness to Manhattan has been feeding market growth for them. So prices are up, but they're still off their highs. Why? Couple of theories. One is once burned, twice shy. We have home buyers out there in the market who are really skeptical. They saw what happened in 2008 that left a real scar on the psychology of home buyers. And I think there's just a real, reluctant skepticism to stretch. And so they're not stretching. And so that's holding back prices. Second thing holding back average prices might just be a quirk of the data, that the mix of the properties is changing, because we are seeing a lot more activity in the lower and middle end of the markets than in the high end of the markets. And so when that happens, if you have a lot more sales clustered in the lower end of the markets, that brings down the average sales price, or at least holds it back, keeps it from going up too much. So, if you bought a home for, say, in Westchester County for $500,000 7 or 8 years ago, it might be worth a lot more than it was then. But if you bought a home for $3 million 7 or 8 years ago, you might not have seen much price appreciation. So the appreciation rate might be different based on your local market. That's a good thing to talk about with your Rand Realty agent in detail to get what's going on specifically in your micro market. Another reason the prices might be off their high, the rise of suburban Brooklyn. Westchester, Hudson Valley, northern New Jersey, those markets have always been migratory destinations for people coming out of Manhattan who are high-end buyers that push that high-end, push that average sales price up in those markets. But about 10 years ago, we started to see a change. A lot of those people migrating out of Manhattan, they're going to Brooklyn. They're going to not just Park Slope and not just Brooklyn Heights, but they're going to all the different areas of Brooklyn, Dumbo, and all new markets that didn't even exist 10 years ago. that is sucking up a lot of the people that otherwise would have moved to the northern or western suburbs of northern New Jersey and Westchester and the Hudson Valley. And I think that did sap some of our demand in our marketplaces and has kept, particularly in the high end, from appreciation. We also now more recently, with Manhattan slowing down, that might be holding back price appreciation because people might not be leaving because prices in Manhattan, they've slowed and they've in some cases come down, and that might lead some people who would have migrated out to stay put. And then finally, one of our trends that we're looking at as part of the series is the impact of 2018 tax reform and the state and local tax cap on deductibility of state and local taxes, and what that means for the high end in our markets. And we think that has had a dramatic impact on the average price in the higher end and probably has held back price appreciation generally in all of these markets. So that's why prices, they're up, and we are seeing price appreciation. It's just not so dramatic. We'll see where it goes in 2019. Our expectation is that demand is going to be strong, and that's going to continue to push prices up in 2019. And we will see how that plays out. I hope you got something out of this. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, contact your Rand Realty agent or let me know. I'm Joe Rand. Thanks for watching.